Hey everybody, Dave Grimes here. You may recognize my voice from the two most recent video tutorials over on ThesisReady.com. If you haven't seen those, go ahead and check them out. There's a link on the bottom of the video here. Definitely worth a few minutes to watch those. What I want to talk to you about today is significantly less technical than what you're used to seeing here, but, and I really believe this, just as important for the health of your site. Since I joined ThesisReady, the overall content production has skewed toward more videos since that's what I'm really passionate about. In the past few months, Adam and I have created dozens of videos for different projects, and it's had a huge positive impact on helping us reach the goals we set for our 2011. Posting that many videos in such a short time was a real pain. So we went ahead and designed a plugin to make it easier. It's called the WordPress S3 Video Manager, and you can learn more about that by clicking the link below this video. In an effort to answer a lot of questions I've been getting from people who are new to video marketing and its benefits, I'm making this video which outlines what I consider to be the 10 most important things to keep in mind when planning a video. So let's go ahead and dive right in here. Number one on our list, and should be number one on everyone's list, is content is king. At this point it almost sounds cliche, but the content you put out for your audience is why they care about you and what you have to say. You can't just post a blog or make a video because your site is due for one. Frequency is important, and we'll get to that later, but you have to be making an intelligent point and making it well. Just having filler material will not cut it. Make sure you have something to say. The best advice I can give is that you should consider yourself to be a teacher. Always be teaching in your videos. Whether you're showing someone how to do something or discussing the ins and outs of a subject, make sure you're providing them with new, useful information. If you do that, your audience will keep coming back and they will grow. Number two, pick a powerful title. When was the last time you read a copywriting book? Hopefully the answer isn't never. Of all the marketing lessons that have carried over from the days of direct mail, the biggest and most important one is easily that the headline is everything. In fact, the headline of the post, or title of the video, determines whether or not 80% of people will bother clicking through and seeing what you have to say. A ton has been written on tips and tricks and secrets of writing good headlines, so I won't bore you with that here. I will make a recommendation though. Go out and buy yourself a copy of the book, The Copywriter's Handbook by Robert W. Bly. The lessons in there are lessons that you absolutely need to know and should inform every move you make online, not just your video efforts. Number three, look around at what has worked for others. If you have an idea for a video but you're not sure how to present the content, just have a look around the web. Odds are that someone, somewhere, has a video on a similar subject. See what they did in their video. What worked? What didn't work? What would you have done differently and why? Did their video drag on too long? Was their delivery appropriate for the material they covered? Did they use slides when they should have done a screencast or vice versa? Was there an aspect of the material that they didn't cover in enough depth? Or did they find just the right way to convey their message? Try to pick the good from the bad in some videos and learn from it. Now take what you've learned and apply it to your video. Number four, make the first 15 seconds count. So now you have a great title that draws people in, and you have a plan for your presentation that you're able to learn by watching how people you want to emulate work. You aren't out of the woods yet though. In the age of push notifications and on-demand content, you haven't hooked someone until they make it past the first 15 seconds. That's the number that we have found works for us anyway. Once someone makes it that far, the odds of them finishing the video spike a lot. If you're able to get past the headline hurdle and the first 15 hurdle, odds are people like what you have to say and the way you're saying it. Number five, keep it simple. Once you have narrowed down what you want your video to be about, i.e. what your point is and what information you want to pass along to your audience, stick with it. Don't cover your material and a ton of other semi-related or unrelated information. Stick with the message. We'll talk more on that in a moment. But that's just the message portion of the video. What about the visual and audio appeal? You want your video to be interesting enough to keep someone's attention, but you don't want to induce a seizure into anyone in your audience via sensory overload. If a simple slide with minimal text can make the point, stick with that. Don't add a bunch of animations and effects just for the sake of wowing anyone. If your message is strong, people will watch. Number 6, stay on message. Do you think you have a great point to make about baking cheesecakes? Awesome. Share your tip, but don't spend 20 minutes going on and on about the history of cheesecake. That's information for another video another time. Stick with the point you're trying to make. If you can teach someone a valuable lesson about cheesecake in 60 seconds, do it. You don't need to make your video 5 minutes long just because you think a longer video will be more engaging. Remember, if the content is good and the message is well conveyed, people will watch. Quality, not quantity. At least not yet. Number 7, think about your audience. With the video tutorials that Adam and I produce for ThesisReady every week, we know the person who will ultimately care about it and watch it has at least a basic technical understanding. They know what I mean when I say FTP and know what a CSS file does. Because of that, it doesn't make sense to explain that every time it comes up. If we did, viewers would get bored and find someone that doesn't talk down to them. Admittedly, this is a hard thing to do, getting the tone right for your audience, that is. But once you find the sweet spot, engagement will shoot through the roof. If you're way off the mark, though, expect people to be vocal in their disapproval. It's just more fun that way. Number 8, make sure your message is consistent. In writing this very video, I've checked over the script several times, and in fact, even made several recordings of this voiceover as I noticed minor inconsistencies. For someone who is watching this the first time, I am positive they never would have noticed, but by putting in the extra work to polish it, it's much more valuable. The other big thing to note is that recording a video is the modern-day equivalent of etching your name in stone. Fixing mistakes is a matter of totally starting over, not just editing a typo here and there. Since your content is now part of the public record for the entire world to see, do yourself a favor and don't make embarrassing mistakes. If you make an effort to fix all the easy stuff, all the low-hanging fruit, it will show. And if something slips through, people will understand that you're human. Number 9, make it timeless. Making a video is an investment in time and energy, 2 things you will never get back. Try to make sure that any given video will be just as useful in 2 hours as it will be in 2 years. If new visitors to your site find value in all of your old content, then as time goes on, your site will become more and more valuable. If only your most recent videos are relevant, then your site will only ever be as good as it was a week, a month, or a year ago. So don't try to base your videos on things that change rapidly or topics that won't matter in a year. Try avoiding topics like MySpace marketing and instead opt for something more like social media marketing. Never back yourself into a corner. Making sure your videos will be useful in the future is the best way to get the most out of your videos. Number 10, the 3 F's. Frequency, frequency, and of course, frequency. If you say you're going to post on a particular schedule every week, do it. The trust you're trying to build is reflected in every part of your site, and delivery counts too. I'll keep this short since it's pretty obvious. There is a reason I saved it for last though. It's seriously important. Do not forget this. On a very related note, ThesisReady released a plugin which makes managing your videos in the cloud insanely easy. It's the same tool we've been using internally on our projects for quite a while, but it was too good not to share. If you're concerned about dealing with the hassle of the tech side of video, click on the link below this video and find out more about the WordPress S3 Video Manager. So there you have it, my 10 tips for video marketing newbies. Leave a comment with your thoughts. If I'm wrong about something, let me know. If you have a tip you think should be on the list, let me know about that too. Also, take 2 minutes and email the link of this page to someone you think will benefit from it. We're trying to make it really easy for you to get good karma here, so don't pass it up. Thanks for checking this out. I'm Dave from ThesisReady.com. We'll see you next time.